Good morning and welcome back to my little YouTube channel. Today is August the 31st, Sunday the 31st of August, and it's around 8:30 in the morning. So we've come to the end of August now. I thought I'd show around what's happened or what's not happened to my garden since my last video, which was back in July. First thing to say is that the last 2 days I think we've had more rain than we've had in the last month, and it's been a bit windy. If you're not from the UK, where I live in Northampton, we've had 4 heat waves, number 4, and the last couple with no rain. It's been very dry. In fact, it's been very dry for the last few months. So the last couple of days it's been pretty wet, and I said we've had more rain I think in the last 2 days than we've had in the last 2 months I think, and it's been a bit windy as well. So what's happening then? Because we're coming to the end really of the season. We're in the UK, September's can be really nice. So let's have a look what's happening. This is obviously my bar, the tiki bar. Yeah, nothing to show you really here. I brought the signs in because although I've varnished them several times, I bring them in undercover in case they get too wet, and currently the temperature is 14.5 degrees. So yeah, so there's not much to show you here. Chair's been put back. The last time I used the area was Monday. This Monday in England was what we call bank holiday, and it was like 25 degrees. It was really nice. But anyway, so just have a look first of what's going on. So if I just turn around, these are the Nagra, the black bamboo. Can't really say much about that really. They seem to have stopped growing, to be honest with you. They looked dead when I first got them, but obviously they have grown, and they seem to have sort of stopped a bit. But anyway, they're in pots by the window here. As you can see, it's a bit breezy this morning, so the sun is shining here. So the first thing to point out, let me just turn out the sun, is, get this pronunciation right, is the Musella Lasiocarpa. So there's 2. There's one here. This one's always done better, and it's got several pups in this one here. And there's a new roller. I'll just do that. You see there's a new roller coming out. I don't know how many pups. There's several pups in there. That's always done much better than this particular one. But it's got a roller coming out, and there's no sign here. Oh, down there, there's no signs here of any pups. Yeah, so the one on the right here has done much better. It grew much faster than that one there. They were £10 each when I got them. Well, actually I paid for one and the other one turned up, so I'm not too sure what happened. Anyway, so the next one here, as you see in this big bucket here, is the pink chinas, and also there's a Bengal tiger banana. Here is the Bengal tiger with a roller coming out, and as you can see, pink chinas are doing very well. They're all in the same pot as they feed and water all at the same time. So if I stand back, I just put my hand there, you can see the size of the leaves. That's my pink chinas. And over here, again if I stand back over here, is the banana plant, the Cheesmanii, or the Cheesman. And it's doing very well there. There's a new roller. You see it's been battered about a bit, and there's 2 pups, as you can see. In fact, there may well be 3 pups. I'm not too sure. No, it's 2 pups. There's one there, as you can see there, and there's one on the other side. So there's 2 pups in there, and with the Cheesmanii or the Cheesman, the Suicem is a much darker colour than the old Basjoo. And you probably can't see it, but if I just go underneath, it's a darker rude purple vein running through it, and you probably can't see, but the underneath, you can't see really. The underneath is a much paler colour than the top of the leaf. It's not green, it's a very light, it looks very white sometimes, but you can't see with the camera and the light. So that's the Cheesmanii doing okay there with two pups. I believe they're not as hardy as the Basjoo, normal Basjoos, but it's on wheels, or it's on caster, so I can move that around. And then we have a Canna Lily. I think this one is Cleopatra, and it's sort of, so I need to trim that a bit. It's got lots of lots of pups in there, lots of them. And this is my free canary date palm, and yeah, it's pushed out some new growth in the middle. I still have to support it. Because it hasn't got a massive trunk, so I still support it with a pole, but it's got a lot of new growth coming through in the middle. And my Butia Odorata here, again in a big bucket with wheels. And then if I go in the middle, all this is new growth in here. All that's new growth. It's done very well there. I just pan around here to the right, obviously the straightforward Cordlines. My Hosta over here is flowered. I need to cut that back. I'll do that today. It's only 8:30. I'll do that today. Cut back some of the dead stuff. And on this side, what I've done is put all my Calla Lilies. They've all flowered. They were all at the front. They've all flowered. So I brought them to the back now because they're just green. And with the spider's web, Japonica spider's web. Yeah, these are all that were at the front. They all flowered. So I've just moved around the back here, and they're just all evergreen now. So again, Hosta, that's flowered. So yeah, so all the Calla Lilies are all flowered. So I've brought them around here on this side, and these are 2 years old. And in the middle here, here's my other canary date palm. So I keep my tongue tied there. I've had this a couple of years. It's been in the pot. This year I put it in the ground, and it's doing ever so well. It's got lots of all this is new growth, all this is new growth, that's new growth. Yeah, it's done very well in the ground. I put it on a raised bed, as you can see, and I put some Alstroemerias with it. I'm not too sure what it's called. They're white, as you can see. There's ones over here, these haven't flowered yet. Alstroemerias are over here, and again there's some, the wind has knocked some of the things off. This here is a dead, that's completely dead. And actually, maybe let's have a look. What you do with these, if I can just find the right one, is that you don't deadhead them as such. I've got to pull it. You actually, where's it gone? You actually pull them out from the bulb. So I'll get that later on. I'll do that later on. So yeah, so that's canary palms done very well. I'll come back to all that in a minute. So another standard Cordline. I'm not too sure if that Ferns died off. We've got too much sun, don't know. Oh, let's leave that for a while and see what happens. So a quick pan around here, and over here in this corner we have the Salvias, the purple ones, and Amistad, I think they're called here. The ones over there are flowered. These ones are still flowering there. I did have some other Salvias. They never popped up this year. They never survived the winter. I cut them back. They never survived. Obviously straightforward Trachycarpus over here. These all been in the ground. I think must be free, coming up third year. Obviously all new fronds coming up, all new growth in the middle there. Japonicas over there, another Japonica over there. If I just step back here, and the bananas. I've got to step right back. That's obviously a new roller coming up the top there, but we had a bit of wind the last couple of days, so they've been a bit battered. The main stem, the rest of them are pups. I just have to go back to get a full view, because it's about, I don't know, 12 foot tall maybe. Obviously I cut them back and protected them, if you watch my videos. Obviously the one on the left here is a new roller coming up there. I've got to go a bit forward, so yeah, I look forward to wrapping them up again, God willing. So down the bottom here we have some Persicarias. These are purple fantasies which I cut back because they really take hold. They have runners everywhere. They're there. I sort of tread on them as I need to water and feed the old bananas. So at the back for colour, I put some more Alstroemerias. I think they're called Indian summer, those ones. At the back there, if you can see, they're all going to fade away now. All had their time. Crocosmias at the back there are coming to an end. I can see some bindweed poking through, which I'll sort out later on today. A Wagnerianus here. You can see the probably new growth, so we've got the sun right behind me. Probably see the new growth coming through the fronds there. Persicaria here, more red Persicarias here, Red Dragons. As you see, just stand back. They're all coming to an end soon, I think. There we go. More Crocosmias are coming to an end. I've got to cut them all back. Flowered, they've all flowered. Alstroemerias at the back there to give it again some, I don't know, the sun's right behind me. In the morning it's right in the front of the house. Some more Alstroemerias here. And there's a dead one over there, pull it out. Some Cordlines at the back, straightforward Cordlines. Here we have another Trachy. As you can see, there's a big old one growing from there. It's done very well here. I'll come back to the reasons why I think that is. Yeah, so I changed my batteries then. So yes, so if I just look at this, there's that raised bed there with a Trachy. You can see even from here you can see the very new frond that is coming up right in the middle there. You can see it. And if I just turn around here, see the other banana. And as you can see, there's a roller coming out there. That was main one, and it's got about 3 pups around it from last year. And there's another little pup coming up. Whether or not it's big enough to survive the winter, I don't know, the little one. We shall see. Alstroemerias at the front here, red ones, don't know what they are, sorry. Again, I've done that just to give it a bit of colour. They will come to an end soon. Some ferns, the Crocosmias, which you can see are dying off. They're not quite died off just yet. Got some yellow ones there. I think they got discoloured because I was feeding and threw over some seaweed liquid over here. Obviously over quite a few times. I think they discoloured the leaves, I think. But there's another banana there, which I wrapped up and cut back and wrapped up. I cut it back to keep the height, as you saw in my videos from the winter time. And this is a Wagnerianus. This is done really well. If you can compare that to the other Waggy here, which planted at the same time, this one has done really well. And again, you've got to see some new fronds coming up in the middle there, and you can see it. Sun's shining right behind me, sorry. Chose the wrong time of day. And then what else have we have here? We've got at the back, obviously a standard, at the back here, standard Cordline. There was some Lilies, they've done their thing. And in the back there, if you can see this there, I don't know if you can see it, but there's another Bengal tiger over there, here, there. Not doing as well because it doesn't get as much sun, everything's blocked out, but it's there. And another Lily that's had its day, another Waggy, you can see with the big frond poking through. In fact, there's a couple poking through. Sorry, the sun's right behind me, my apologies for that. And another pink China's at the bottom there. Again, doesn't do as well because it doesn't get the sun, it's covered, but it's there from a couple of years ago. the runners are all round there. So if I just go across, Ferns, Red Dragons, somewhere in here, if I just move in a bit, in there, here is another Bengal tiger which is not doing as well, sorry, with the camera work, because again it's all blocked out. I'm not so sure if I'll dig that up or just leave it, I don't know. When all this dies back and I cut it back to see what I'll do, I'm not too sure. It doesn't get enough sunlight that it's covered. So I just pan it around here again. At the back here, I'll just go around the back here. More salvias down at Hampstead. They've done their thing, I think. More red dragons here. Percarias. Sorry, my pronunciation of red dragons. Right. So I don't know what this one actually, what specimen or breed this particular one is. But this Phormium has been there for a couple of years. It survived a big winter a few years ago. I'm not too sure which one this is, but it's just there. So the back here is just more of the old Persicaria Red Dragons at the back taken over, which I did last year. A pot of lilies with a Cordline. And take another shot at the bananas here. And Trachy. Put my light on. Yeah, I don't mind the old Red Dragon's taken over this area here because there's nothing else going on really. I can see some bindweed. The problem is, see this whole tree here, which is in no man's land, got a lot of bindweed, and it's right behind this fence here. There's all sorts of things going on behind there, and every so often I've got to come along and pull them out, cut them off, so they don't start wrapping themselves around things. A bit of a pain in the whatsits, but there you go. So I'm just coming out to the sun again and moving around this particular Cordline. Got the pink chinas at the bottom, bit of fern at the bottom. Again, it doesn't get a great deal of sunlight, but as you see there's runners there. I just cut it back and let it do its thing. So if I move back, there's my other Butia Odorata with more Alstroemerias. Again, just to give some colour to everything. Some have started to come out. Oh, I think I just saw a bee. Do we see a bee going there? In there, look. There's still obviously stuff going on in. There's still pollen in there. There we go, look. Having a wander around. Some of it hasn't ready to come out. Some are ready to come out. This Butia has got a lot of. There's a big old thong ready to unravel. That's in a raised bed. Look on the right hand side of my garden. These are all the Canna lilies on here. Some need to cut back here. Apart from that, another Bengal tiger which I put in a pot, and it's got that's a pup and that's a pup. There's a couple of pups there. It's in quite a big pot really, but the Canna lilies are all here. I need to trim them back. That got sunburnt on the leaves. It's quite tall. That's at least 12 foot tall. That. The problem is it's so wiry. Big wind to keep falling down these pots. I've weighed down some bricks. So yeah, the Canna on this side. This is south facing. So if I look in the middle aisle now, middle island, right in front of me is a Trachy. As you can see, the new fronds are growing from there, and there's some more salvias. These aren't Hampstead. This is another one. It's a deep purple. They're still growing, still flowering. Some more Persicaria's Red Dragons there at the front, with the purple fantasies on the right, and Crocosmias here. They've had their day. Not here, but the day. Cordlines on the side. Another banana. There's a roller coming up there. These are more salvias here, which haven't flowered just yet. We do get the sun in the late afternoon, evening this side. And we've got some of the lilies have had their time. These are the African lilies, they've done their thing. I'll wait till it goes, dies back, because everything's going back into the bulbs. So if I just move across here. Oh, now I'm facing the sun, let me get it in the shade. This Trekkie here, there, it's got all new fronds growing in the middle. As you can see, hopefully you can see. This bananas here. So let's look at that, it's the main one with 3 or 4 pups from last year. What didn't survive was the Bengal tiger, which I put here, that didn't survive the winter. Got some, as you can see, pink chinas there. But yeah, the Bengal tiger didn't survive. Don't know why, but it didn't survive there. When I put it, it died back. It didn't even pop up from the base, so I'm not too sure. So this one here in itself is a pup. And again, these are from last year. Wrapped them up. And you can see here there's a roll-on coming out, and that's a pup from last year. That's the mum one in the middle, all surrounded by its pups. See a bit of a leaf there has come off because we had a bit of a wind. So tidy all this up a little bit later on today. So I just wanted to have a quick catch up with the last day of August. Oops. And hopefully gives you an idea of what's happened. And rhododendron, I'll just put it here. Excuse me. Right. My opinion on what's happened this year with my garden is that I think we've been very lucky this year, this spring summer. Anything that's planted new, like my Butias for instance, and I planted out from a pot to the ground my canary date palm. We had such a great spring and summer with the heat. Everything's taken. There's a massive lot of new growth, and I think that's all due to the fact that we've had these 4 heat waves, and we've had a really spring and summer were really warm. So I think we're lucky the fact that particularly when I planted stuff in the pots or in the ground, because the weather's been so great, things have just taken off without any issues at all. The other thing is that obviously the things that suffered really is the lawn, but we're not here talking about the lawn. I've stopped feeding them now. I'm not going to feed anything anymore. They've had their feed. I did a last feed a couple of weeks ago with some obviously the seaweed. I used to feed all my anything green, the palms, the bananas, etc. were always seaweed. That stopped. With the Canna lilies I put tomato feed and some Miracle Grow, and I mixed some Miracle Grow in with the bananas and any of the palms. But I said that will all stop now. I don't want any start feeding it and then new growth starts popping out, let's say late September, October, where the weather may change. So the new growth will be presumably a bit delicate, so no more feeding. So everything will just do its thing now. Some of the Alstroemerias are dying back and finishing, and the Crocosmias are having their day. Some of the Canna lilies need to be trimmed back, and that's really what's happening in my little garden on the 31st of August. And may this warm weather continue. Last winter here where I live we had a pretty mild winter. let's hope that continues. And my plan is that these delicate bananas, because they're on wheels, and hopefully I can wrap them a bit and put them in the garage. There's no heating in the garage, so that's my plan. Hopefully they'll all fit in. And the big pot with the pink chinas in and stuff, well, last year I left that, I just left it out and I put bark on the top, so I may do that. But there is a Bengal tiger which I know are a bit not so as hardy as the Musa Basjoos, so but anyway, don't worry about that till a few months time, hopefully. So yeah, so that's a catch up on the back. Well, this is the front. Well, the front has all the sun in the morning, so as you can see now, all my Callas are gone. My Calla lilies are all gone from the front, so it's just the Chamaerops at the front. They're all doing well. They've got new growth. That's the new one over there. That's got new growth coming through. Trachy's doing very well here. All new growth on it. And there's only one Calla left that's still flowering, so I left that there. There's a lot of new growth on this. And at the back is Chamaerops. There's a fern there as well, all growing. So they're doing very well at the front here. We get the sun in the morning here for a few hours, to at least midday, then it moves around. So it gets all this sun. There's a whole bunch of new growth in there as well. So that's the front. I've moved all the Callas out of the way because they're all flowered. I'll wait till these go a bit brown before I cut them off. We've had a bit of a couple of days been a bit windy. So yeah, that's the front. What I have found out over the last few years, which obviously people who are a bit more experienced than me will obviously be aware of, that is that the Trachy there and the Waggy there, those two palms, were planted at the same time as that one, and that one. Now the difference is the ones on my left here get some sun and it's shaded, so it's a sun-shade area. Here the sun's on it a lot, so what a lot of you probably already aware is that they do far better in full sun as opposed to shaded sun. I mean, the sun's on it now, but this is now 12:30. I came out when it was like 8:30, so the sun is moving around, and as you can see, it stopped going on the Waggy here, but it's still on that Trachy, but it's always on here and on here and on here, so they do far better. Also, if you can look at that Cordline, standard Cordline, compared to the size of that one. So the stuff on the left, but saying that, the bananas here, there's more banana plants here than there are there, so they are taller. See the old wind blowing up? There's six bananas there. The ones on the outside are the pups from last year. They all are blowing down. See the old leaves are getting ripped. But yeah, so the ones on the right do far better, growing far better than the ones on my left, because they get all full sun all the time. And that's what I've learned over the last couple of years, and I said probably people with more experience than me obviously aware of it already. And I think also, if I just come over here, there's a follow through to my video earlier on today, that this Butia Odorata gets a lot of sun all the time, so it's done really well. My plan here in the winter, when it comes, is to build some kind of canopy. I've got the wooden stakes, I got that a while ago, and probably put some plastic sheets on top or something, polycarbonated sheets, to protect it. That's my plan, I think, for that, because although they're the hardest of the feather palms, they're not. They may not be as hardy as we would like it to think, but I'll make some kind of canopy. I'm not really a DIYer, but I'll have a go. As I bought the stakes some time ago, and all I need to do is measure it eventually, and then order some polycarbonated sheet or something to cover it. And I think I may well do the same for my canary date palm, which I'm just going to tidy up all this stuff in a minute. So as you see, the sun was out on it at 8:30, the sun's on it at 12:30, and as it goes around, the sun's on it all the time. So it does very well, or has done very well. And just on that conversation, obviously the sun's on this middle island a lot, and as you can see, I've got a couple of fronds coming there. The one at the back is a B&M, what I call B&M special from two years ago, was it, I think? Or was it last year? I can't remember now. So yeah, so this is a quick comment regarding my experience with these Trekkies. I said those of you more experienced than me are probably already aware of that, but yeah, so because I'm amazed how well this Wagnerianus is doing. This is really doing well. And with new growth still coming in, and also this Trekkie is also doing quite well here with new growth as well coming in. Plus I've stopped feeding everything now. Everything's got to, as I've mentioned before, nothing's got to get fed now. I don't want things to start growing and suddenly the winter suddenly appears and new growth gets fragile. Yeah, so the wind's a bit windy, 12:30. And I've just got to tidy up some of the old deadheads. Yes, about the Alstroemerias, where are we? Here, let's go to this one here. When they all die off, you don't deadhead them as you would normally. You actually pull the whole stem out from the bulb. That's how you do it, as opposed to just deadheading. And I did that last year, and they all came back. They all survived. That's what you do. You pull them up from the bulb. So down, going deep again in here, this Crocosmias have discoloured. I think it was to do with the seaweed fluid, because I would just pour it in there, and I think they just discoloured it. But you know, given time, I'll cut them back anyway when it is like full winter. And if you've seen my videos before in winter time, this gets all thinned out. Okay, so if you want any comments, leave any comments regarding what I've said, or any comments that can help me improve. The other thing what I may do is, if I just go over here, obviously this Cheesmanii has got a couple of pups. Now I won't do anything now, but in the springtime I may try splitting them up, and the same with these over here. And obviously I've got the Bengal tiger here. I've got no more space down the back there. As it is, it's difficult to get in there. I've got to go in there in a minute to pull out the bindweed, but it's difficult to get in there. Underneath here it's difficult. I'm not going to put anything on there. Underneath all this stones is just concrete, just all concrete here. That was laid when I got that all done, and I don't want to plant things here in case they change their fence and damage any of the plants that I have. So what I may do is do some more beds like this. I'm not too sure just yet, because I like a bit of lawn, and when my grandson's been, he likes running around. If I put more beds in, it'll be less running around. But I may put something here. There is a dip here. I'm standing on a higher bit. There is a natural dip here, so I could put one here. Either the more bananas, or even the other Butia that's over there. I may take that out of the pot. I don't know yet. Certainly that canary date palm will stay in that pot for a while until the trunk gets bigger, but that's based on if it can survive the winter. As I said, there's a lot of, I can go in here now. There's a lot of new growth. There's a lot of new growth in here. But again, the reason I staked it is because it's very thin, spindly. I call it spindly. This is new growth. This one's new growth. It's very spindly, and because the trunk is not so big, it moves around. So I try to stake it. He obviously likes it because it's got a lot of new growth. But anyway, I'll leave you with that thought. I'm just thinking about, if God willing, what's going to do next year with these extra plants I got. There's obviously space here for at least 3 more beds, raised beds. But I do like a bit of lawn. I said when my grandson comes around, he does run around, and when he came a little while ago, I had to make sure that he was careful running around these beds. I didn't want him to obviously hurt himself with that. And we had the paddling pool here, so I want to keep this, at least this free, so put a paddling pool back down. But that's just me thinking aloud. Listen, take care. Hopefully everyone's had a great summer. Hopefully the weather continues. We have a mild winter. I think the next time I'm going to catch up with you guys will be when I wrap things up. Any comments, please share, please have a comment, and I'll catch you again.